And I'm joined here in the studio by Shona Bhattacharya. Good evening to you, Shona.
Hi, Tom.
Lots of activity, I presume, online. Well, I know there's a lot of activity online. What specifically is being said?
Well, let's start off with what people are saying on Twitter. A day after the election, all of the 10 most popular hashtags and conversations in the Twitter US are about the results. The most popular is "Not My President." This woman says a person who sexually abuses women incites racism and xenophobia in the US and wants to restrict the rights of minorities is hashtag "Not My President." Of course, that same hashtag is being used by Trump supporters. And this young woman says, if you are tweeting "Not My President," I feel sorry that you have no respect for your country. This is so sad. A lot of people that are supporting Trump are saying that the hashtag "Not My President" is being used unfairly, because when they were using it to tweet about Barack Obama, saying that they did not agree with the fact that many of them believed that he was Muslim, and they didn't agree with the fact that he was president, a lot of liberals were having this backlash against that with using the same hashtag. So one of those instances where the same words can be used in different ways. The second most popular hashtag is "I'm Still With Her," which is a play, of course, on the "I'm With Her" campaign slogan for those supporting Hillary Clinton. This person says that they spent the morning crying, afraid to watch Clinton's concession speech that she gave a few hours ago because I know it'll make me cry more. But she says she's still with her. A lot of Clinton supporters lamenting the outcome on social media, and a bit of goading as well on the part of the Trump supporters.
As you'd expect, if they've won this election
Absolutely.
against all the odds, and when the poll said they wouldn't.
Absolutely.
So that's what people are saying online. Are they sort of reacting differently in real life and outside the sort of online world? Are they acting on their pronouncements?
Well, we heard a lot of people threatening to move to Mexico or to Canada. And in fact, the Canadian immigration website crashed later Tuesday night and early Wednesday. There is a Le Monde article on that. However, the website is back up and running. Meanwhile, a Huffington Post article has suggestions about what ordinary citizens can do if they disagree with the election result. It says that they can volunteer at community organizations, practice self-help for those who are truly suffering and are contemplating harmful acts, or they can donate to programs like Planned Parenthood or the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, that are there to defend individuals' freedom. On the ground, however, we're seeing some upsetting images. We've got a video uploaded by Now This, a new media, showing protesters chanting slogans like "Not My President." There we can see somebody burning a U.S. flag, a very, very rare thing to see in the streets of the United States. Some people are even burning effigies of Donald Trump and burning trash as well. This is East Coast, West Coast, around the country. There is another video that's being widely shared, mostly by Trump supporters. It shows people crying as they realize that Hillary Clinton has lost. Images shot at the Javits Convention Center in New York, where Hillary Clinton was waiting for those results. More crying from Bernie Sanders, this time a GIF on Twitter. Bernie Sanders, of course, you'll remember, was the anti-establishment candidate that almost got the nomination that Clinton ended up getting. Finally, I want to share with you a photo that speaks volumes to me. It really gets to me, especially because it was taken in the city where I grew up, which is Philadelphia on the East Coast. There, swastikas and Trump's name were spray painted on an abandoned storefront window, and it is being investigated. The graffiti was quickly removed. This is a chilling development, though, when we remember that today, November 9th, is the 78th anniversary of Kristallnacht, or Glass Night. That's when Nazi sympathizers smashed the windows of Jewish-owned shops, vandalized synagogues, and killed around 100 Jews in Germany. This is, remember, the Nazi Party. This is before, of course, the Second World War.
Okay, so there's a disturbing side to this story as well, as you say. And a lot of questions being asked, presumably, in the Clinton campaign. what went wrong? It was all looking like it was going so right for so much of this 18-month-long campaign.
That's right, the Clinton campaign, but also media as well, taking a long, soul-searching look and saying what actually happened, where did we go wrong? I wanted to share this opinion piece that appeared in the Guardian's website by Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank is a conservative U.S. writer, and he's known, despite being conservative, he's known for criticizing George W. Bush's presidency. And I wanted to quote him a little bit, because what I think is really interesting what he says, if Trump is a fascist, as liberals often said, Democrats should have put their strongest player to stop him, not a party hack they'd chosen because it was her turn. He says that the Democrats made a very grave mistake when they chose to go with the candidate who was the most, who had the most experience for the job, and not the candidate who had the most chance of winning the election. Now, Clinton supporters among the media, he's saying, didn't help either. He's saying that the quality of the media's enthusiasm really harmed her, which is a bit surprising, I must say, because I feel like Trump dominated a lot more in the media than did Hillary Clinton. But he's saying that journalists chose to insult the other side over trying to understand what motivated them. They transformed opinion writing into a vehicle for high moral boasting. And personally, I do think that's true. And he rhetorically asks, what could possibly have gone wrong with that approach? It's true that there is a kind of moral sort of authority that a lot of people felt that they had, that, bigotry is wrong and sexism is wrong, and saying this about Muslims is wrong. And so in a sense, instead of actually listening to these people and maybe giving a voice to their grievances, trying to understand why they're saying these things, maybe we as a media just kind of put them down, saying that they were uneducated and that they didn't know what they were talking about. So obviously, grave consequences for that behavior as well.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, political rights. Obama is reeling from the gut punch of Trump's win. That article goes on to say, that the sitting president has 10 weeks to nail down anything and everything that he can, though he's already lost a chance, the writer says, to lock in Obama's vision of America. Obama has said several times during this campaign that he would consider a Trump win a personal repudiation, and the writer says that's exactly what it was. Another Democrat win, had Hillary Clinton won, she would have been able to cement the changes that Barack Obama put in place in the U.S. government, and now those changes, many of them at least, are likely to become undone. Politico has another article, this time about what we can expect from Trump and his cabinet. He's, of course, been talking to people in case he won, and as he has. The president-elect has said he'd prefer hiring from the private sector whenever that is possible, edging out Washington bureaucrats that he has so little fondness for. The founder of Lucas Oil, for example, 74-year-old Forrest Lucas is rumored to be considered for Interior Secretary, for example. Trump is also likely to reward the Republican hawks that stood by him, people like Rudy Giuliani or like Newt Gingrich.
Okay, so some people clearly gambled and put their chips on the right team. But just lastly, this was not predicted by the pollsters, but this Trump victory was predicted by various other people and a very long time ago. Tell us more.
That's right. The Simpsons, the cartoon, actually predicted a Trump win in 2000. This is season 11, episode 17, for those Simpson fans out there, and also the others who just don't believe me. The Simpsons predicted everything this tweet says that happened in last night's election, including the electoral map. Can we see that? Yes, we can. See, okay, what's fascinating is this is 2000, the drawing, 2015, the gesture's the same, the elevator's the same, the clothing is the same, even down there, the images on the bottom, and then on the right, you've got, gosh, I forget his name. What's that guy's name?
Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns, right. Mr. Burns with his funny voice. Even look at the map behind Mr. Burns. It looks a lot like the actual map that we saw, I should say, on Tuesday night. So some pretty eerie coincidences there, or maybe some
art imitating life or life imitating art.
Somebody had a crystal ball maybe and decided to throw that in there to scare us all before the day. But hey, didn't scare that many people. It worked.
Well, we better go back to our old episodes of The Simpsons and rewatch them. There might be some other useful clues in there. Thank you very much indeed. Shona Bhattacharya there with today's edition of Media Watch. I'll be